Now to the huge development overnight in Russia's war on Ukraine and the news that President Biden and President Zelensky have signed a 10-year bilateral security agreement, which is a massive boost to Ukraine's ability to defend itself against the aggressors. It sometimes feels like the forgotten war, doesn't it, with so much focus on Gaza, but there are still people, including children, dying every day at the hands of Russia, and there's still way too much at stake for all of us, for the eyes of the world to turn away. Yuri is an advisor to Ukraine's Minister of Strategic Industries, and he joins me now. Yuri, thank you so much for your time. What's your initial reaction to this deal?
It is, Erin, a very good thing because an army of Ukrainian diplomats headed by our President Zelensky have been working on the terms of that deal for quite some time now. And this, mind you, this is the 16th similar deal, because before that we have already signed 15 other similar security guarantees deals with other countries. And, rightly, our president called this a historical agreement between Ukraine and the United States of America, which is our strategic partner and on whose support we depend so much in our fight against these terrorists, against this aggression.
Will Russia hate this news or not care?
Well, absolutely. I think that's another important, if you like, side effect of this deal, that it sends a very clear message to the aggressor who, as well as all of us know, that, Russia is always hoping that our Western partners will tire of Ukraine, that the fatigue will settle in and it will allow Russia to, get more of our territories, kill more of our people and kidnap more of our children. But this hasn't happened. And Erin, one other thing which is in that deal and which is extremely important is that it will facilitate and boost Ukraine's own domestic defense industry base. And we are working very hard now to ensure that at some point in the future we become self-sufficient, and we have already achieved a lot of success. The Ministry of Strategic Industries of Ukraine is actually right now running a global crowdfunding campaign called Zbrojeri Manufacturing Freedom, because we are capable of producing more weapons that our own government actually has funds to procure from our weapons manufacturers. So I would like to use this opportunity to invite the Australian government as well to participate in this global crowdfunding campaign and buy Ukrainian weapons made by Ukrainian manufacturers for the Ukrainian army.
What do you make of Australia's support at the moment? Do you feel like it's slowed down? Is it as significant as it was, say, a year ago?
Erin, it's very difficult to gauge the support of different countries. We feel the support of our partners on a daily basis. And, it doesn't necessarily have to be just military support, because multilateral diplomacy, the sanctions regime, there are so many different ways in which this support can be manifested and is manifested. So we are grateful to the Australian government for the support we have received so far. And of course, look, we're fighting the largest war since the World War II. So of course, we always want more. So I think we can be forgiven for always expecting that our partners will do a little bit more, a little bit sooner.
Absolutely understand that. Now, all the polls in the US are pointing towards a Trump victory in November. Though I must say he's very isolationist, but he seems to have softened a little bit in his rhetoric towards Ukraine recently, saying that success in Ukraine is good for the world, which I'd imagine you would think is very good news for you. You wouldn't be as nervous about that as you were maybe 6 months ago, a year ago.
Erin, in the heart of hearts, we've always understood, knew and believed that it's a very simple idea for the leadership of the United States of America to comprehend. If we all want our children to inherit a more peaceful future, if we want all our children to live in a world in which there is no nuclear blackmail on a daily basis, in which there are no millions of refugees fleeing across countries, in which there is no food crisis. So it's very clear that it's in the national interest of the United States of America as well as all other countries. So in the heart of hearts, we always understand that any president of the United States of America will understand how important it is for the US to stand with Ukraine. And this is exactly what is written into this security guarantees agreement. And it's a very important thing that I'd like to stress. So it says there that the United States of America will stand with Ukraine until our victory.
And a lot of the focus, obviously, is on the war in Gaza. Looking at Hamas and their horrific methods, where do you think Russia sits, in your mind, on a terrorist scale, if there were such a thing, in terms of evil?
Well, I think at the moment it's very clear that Russia is colluding and making partnership with rogue countries around the world, trying to buy weapons from them. Look, every day, and actually right now, an air raid siren was announced across Ukraine, and I assure you that in addition to the ballistic and cruise missiles that Russia will launch, there will also be hordes of the Iranian Shahed drones. So Russia is very clearly the sort of leader of the pack, if you like, in this respect. And it's a terrorist state which makes friends with terrorist states.
Yuri, it really is wonderful news. We're very, very happy for you. We know it's still a long road ahead, but fingers crossed it's the start of a journey towards NATO and then ending this incredibly evil and unjust war. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Erin. And pray for Ukraine because the missiles are coming, as always, every night and right now.